Welcome to the second and last lecture of Unit 10 of Ecology and Environmental Biology. In this lecture 2 of Unit 10, we are going to start with community ecology. Community interactions means symbiotic relationships. We'll be seeing at competition, we'll be seeing at predation and mutualism, all these different interactions between members of the populations with themselves. We'll talk about ecological niche concept. Okay, and we'll talk about the differences between fundamental niche, realized niche. We'll talk about the niche fight, niche duel. We're going to talk about the competition exclusion principle, which is very, very important. Biodiversity and conservation. Biodiversity and conservation, including the types of biodiversity and example of biodiversity that is present throughout the India, different biodiversity hotspots throughout India like Western Ghat, Eastern Himalaya, the type of animals and plants found there. And we'll also talk about the conservation biology, means we're talking about why we are utilizing conservation biology, species specific approach, environment specific approach. We are going to talk about say the different example of this conservation, biosphere reserve, national forest, sanctuary, the differences between all this. And we'll also talk about restoration of ecosystem like biological augmentation, bioremediation processes. We'll talk about the red data list, the extinction features, the extinction sequence, and we are going to find out a few animals, especially like Royal Bengal tiger. We are going to talk about single-horned rhino, Asiatic lion, their conservation strategy and their conservation spot in red data list book. Okay, we're also going to talk about ecological biome, the different types of ecological biome, including the taiga, tundra, tropical rainforest, deciduous forest, all the different types of biomes, their temperature, their rainfall, the type of the geographical locations, and the net primary productivity. We'll talk about that in this lecture too. So a lot of different topics, and the numbers written after every single subtopic here denotes the total number of approximate questions you're going to get from those topics in CSIR NET exam. So let's continue.
So in community ecology, the first thing that we need to understand is the concept of habitat and another very unique concept known as niche. So what is habitat and what is niche? As I said, in a community there will be competition, and that competition is one type of interaction between organisms of different population. So you can see even members of the same species can interact with themselves, they can compete with themselves, known as the intra-specific competition. And when the competition is between members of other species, known as inter-specific competition. But just competition is just one type of such kind of interaction, but we will see many of this kind of interactions soon. So the question is, what is habitat and what is a niche? Now every single organism has a habitat and has a niche. What's the difference between the two? People kind of use them almost synonymously, but there is a huge difference between the two. We all know what habitat actually is. Habitat is all aspects of the area where an organism lives. That means the area that composed of the biotic factors, that is composed of the abiotic factors. Everything in that area is known as its habitat. We know habitat for ants means where ants live. Component of that living place, whether it can be the biotic factors or abiotic factor that is present in that place, is known as the habitat for ants. So that is habitat. It's a living place, both biotic and abiotic factors. Now what is a niche? An ecological niche includes all the factors that species needs to survive, stay healthy, and keep reproducing. So that is the difference between habitat and a niche. And habitat is the place where an organism can simply stay in the environment. But a niche is more of a functional unit for that organism. It's all the factors that is responsible for that species growth, that species staying healthy and keep reproducing. So it contains both food and food habits of that organism. It contains the abiotic conditions and it also contains the behavior of that organism. So you can see the difference in very simple words. You can say habitat is the place where they live, and the niche is the place where they live. Along with that, the food habit and the behavior of that particular organism. Everything together here will be termed as a niche. or ecological niche, whatever you say, or people can tell it as the functional unit of an organism in an ecosystem. That's also known as a niche. Now, the idea of ecological niche, the role of a species it serves in its ecosystem, that is known as a niche. Like, concrete role of that organism in an in the environment. That means if we take out that organism, there should be some impact that occur in that environment. So if that organism present in that environment, there should be some sort of functional role played by that organism. That is known as that organism's niche. So this ecological niche includes what it eats, and how it behaves. So you can understand. So it's like the trophic levels. It's like the position of the organism in the trophic level. Means, if I'm thinking of my niche, I'll think of where I live. I think of my food habits, my behavior, and also think about what I eat, and also think about what eats me. Everything together. Now, the simplest understanding that we want to gain from this chapter is that no two species can have the same ecological niche. It's out of the way, it's out of the question. So if you think about a huge forest where you can see, small grasses, then continues with shrubs, and continues with huge long trees, hardwood trees, oak. So when you look at different bird species living in that very small part of the, they don't live in the grass, but they live in the shrubs. From the shrubs till the huge trees that we can see, you can see there are different types of species living there. They're not the same kind, and they not only are of different species, but those birds, they're different in types of their food habit. They're different in type of their anatomy, so that they involve in certain kind of food habit that should not, what I can say, overlap each other's niche. That's a big thing, because in a huge habitat where many species live together, different populations of species live together, in that case, there is a possibility that any two species may have same food habit. Any two species may engage to fight for each other for that food habit. So we can call it as a niche overlap, where two species tend to have kind of similar niche, so they will compete with one another, fight with one another to survive. And whenever there is a niche competition, we call it niche duel. And that niche duel, only one species can win and one will lose. The species which wins will continue to reproduce and will evolve. The species loses are already gone from the environment. That's the idea of niche competition. We're going to talk about that even with more details. So when you say this niche, there are properties of the niche that I want you to know. It's niche breadth and niche shift. So what do you mean by niche breadth? If you look at here, it's just an example of food size. Let's say we're talking about fruits, and in the fruits there are small seeds and larger seeds. Now we're talking about birds here. So birds both feeding on the seeds, but few birds, their beak is designed in a way that they only can eat small seeds. But there are birds with higher strong beak which can eat larger seeds. So if we talk about this unrealized, like the niche that they are actually utilizing, that can be of two different types, a small and a large. And if you look at the food size, there's something of the food size in the moderate range, which so you can say amount of resource use, because most of the birds very much comfortable to eat the seeds which are medium length. So they are eating that maximum. You can see maximum niche utilized is that moderate length. Okay, but still there will be few birds eating the smaller seeds. There will be few birds eating the larger seed, but very less. But maximum birds are eating something which is moderate in its size. So in this population, if all the birds have the same type of beak size and depth, due to that big size, they're all eating the medium length seed, and that may lead to competition, because in that case all of the birds share a common food source, that is the medium sized seed, and that's not good. That's why in that population, different species, different birds, they find a way to minimize that competition. How? By changing the anatomy of their beak. And as they change the anatomy of the beak, few of the birds with very small beak can eat small seeds, sharp beak to get the small beak, small seeds. And there are other birds can take these larger seeds. So you can see here the niche breadth. The niche breadth for these birds is very limited here in the middle. But the niche breadth for the one that we can see for this flat graph is much broad. So you can see niche breadth. This is very tiny niche breadth. This is very broad niche breadth. So for every single organism, the niche breadth is a fixed value or range for its behavior or food habit, or how it behaves, or what is its food habits, and what kind of foods it eats, as I say one example with the food source. So this is the niche bred. For few species it's very narrow, which we can see in this case. This is very narrow, and for few which is broad in this case. Another term is niche shift. As I said, that if both the species belong to the same food habit, that is same food size to eat, there will be competition. To minimize that competition, then those species tend to shift their food habit. They are going to shift the gear. Like few birds decide to eat only small seeds, few decide to eat only bigger seeds.